So it's
Okay,
audible.
perfect. So yeah, I think there was some issue. I need to restart my system. So I think it's fine now. Okay, great. All right, so today we are going to deep down a little bit further in Access. So there is a very advanced functions which is called Power Query. Okay, so we usually use that to kind of when you are getting multiple data sets, and let's say you are working for a specific company and they have different data in a different file. In that case, we need to merge all the data together, right? Then you will have to like check if there's any duplicates, like whatever it is, right? So you will check the duplicates, remove the missing values, and then you will analyze the data and maybe you will be creating a dashboard, right? So today we'll focus on the Power Query, and we will be creating kind of a mini dashboard. And next week also we will talk about more about in details about how you design, how you select the design, and how you kind of make a dashboard and how you basically automate it. And then we will start SQL in like 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, after 1 week. Okay. So let me share my screen. So the data set is going to be little bit slightly same that you have been working, but I have kind of different data sets, which is like differently formatted this one, and we need to like do multiple things here. Okay. Now, whatever I'll be doing, okay, I'm going to share you the same data sets. You need to kind of do each and everything step by step. Maybe after this, maybe you can go through the recording as well. And you just need to follow each step by step and try to do the same. If you're stuck, then you would watch the video, and then you will complete like till where I would kind of end the sessions. Okay. Because if you do that, then only you would be learning. Otherwise, maybe just by listening and watching, maybe you will not kind of learn the concept that I'm trying to cover here. Because X lookup, V lookups, or maybe the functions, some if those are like the simple functions, you don't have to learn it. But this concept which I'm going to show you, these are the things which you need to learn, because every day, no matter what company, what task, these are the functions you need to use. Okay. So again, here dashboarding skills would also kind of add up kind of little bit, I would say hype in your resume, because on dashboarding, if you can analyze the data and bring insight using some dashboarding, so that will be great, right? So let's go ahead and kind of start, right? So let me share the screen, and let me log in from another computer. So give me a second. Okay, so I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me just drag the windows here. So I'm going to use Windows because we're using Windows, and in Windows we have some additional feature in Excel which you do not have like in Mac or other systems. Okay, so let me go ahead and download the data. Give me one quick second. This is the data sets, which is Superstore sale. Okay, now here the problem is that we have like few data different places. Now you see we have 2014 sales data together. Okay, so if you open this file, you will have 2014 data here. So it is the same data that you are working, just I have done some cleaning here. Okay, but I also added some duplicates and missing values as well. We will see how we can kind of clean that and kind of build something, a dashboard. Okay, so here if you see, we have data where we have order ID, then order date, ship date, which we have seen earlier as well, also ship mode, customer's ID, customer name, and country, city, state, postal code, regions, product ID, category, product name. Okay, now interestingly here we have something called unit price. Okay, so unit price means one product price. Okay, we have how many quantity purchased, and we have discount that was given, the percentage of discount. Okay, so here we do not have something called net sale. Like, so what we need to do is that we need to multiply this unit price with the quantity, correct? But if there's any discount, so that is what we need to remove. For example, here if you see, the unit price is kind of $3. Okay, and it is kind of 14 quantity, so somewhere it's going to be kind of $40 something. But we have given 20% discount. Point to that means 20% discount. So that means for each quantity we have given 20% discount, right? So here the amount is going to be different. So if you check here, usually if in case we do not have the discount, so it's going to be the net price is $40, right? But from the $40, as we have like 0.2% discount, so we need to remove this discount. So if you want to check the discount, so we can just go ahead and say this multiply with this discount, right? So this tell us that $8 discount we have given, right? Now what you will do is that To find out the net sale the customer paid for this specific orders, we would minus this and this. Oops, not equals, but we would minus it, right? So 32.8 what the customer paid. So how we got it? We had to do multiple things here, right, to get it. Now again, we have, this is just 1 year data, which is called 2020, I think 2014. Okay, so same way, if you see, we have 2015 data as well. So here as well we have same things. Okay, like we do not have the unit price. Okay, I mean the net sale price. We have rest of the same thing here as well. Also the data may contain duplicates, they may contain like the blanks. Okay, so we have then we have next, if you see, let's close it, don't save it. Then we have 15, then 16 and 17. Okay, so the requirement for this project is that the company want you to kind of analyze the data and create a nice dashboard. Okay, and company will also expect that they would have a new data futures. Okay, so new data means now they have only given you the data set till 2015, let's say till 2017. So they may provide you 2018 data, 19 data, 2021, later on. So what they want, if in case they get a new data, they would simply get the data the same format here we have. Okay, now the problem is that they would want automatically that to kind of create the dashboard without kind of they being doing something else, right? Maybe cleaning, even if you are not there. So they should be able to kind of click one button and it should kind of automatically create the dashboard, including those data as well. Okay, so very simple requirement. We have the data sets. We would create we would merge all this data. Then we will be creating a dashboard and we will give the dashboard to that, let's say that team. Okay. Now, if they have a new data, okay, what they would just need to do is that they need to dump the data into this folder. Okay. As soon as they put the data in this folder will be connected with our dashboard using Excel, and automatically dashboard will get all the file and data that we have in this folder. Okay, so the data will kind of process through cleaning, like whatever you will be doing, like you will be creating a net unit, net sale, then you will be creating a profit. Okay, now one more thing here, if you see here in these data sets, we do not have something called a profit column. Okay, so let's say I have shown you here, we did kind of sale of like it was $32, right? After minusing the discount. Now let's say we want to know what is the profit that we made for this order. Correct. Now we can see that we do have the product ID, we do have the product category, product subcategory, product name as well, but we do not have a profit. Now to find a profit, you need to know what is the purchasing cost for each unit, right? Let's say you have purchased one iPhone, okay, and I purchased two iPhone. So one iPhone, let's say making cost is $500. I purchased it for $800 too, so I paid $1,600. So if in case I need to find out what is going to be the profit for this sale by the company from whom I bought it, so they would kind of they would kind of first check what is their purchasing cost for each unit. So purchasing cost is kind of for them is $500. So for two, they have spent kind of $1,000 and they sold it for $1,600. So that means the profit is $600. This is what they made, right? So how do you get it? Because to get the profit, we need to find the product purchasing cost, which we call COGS. Okay, now here we don't have the purchasing cost, but interestingly, what I have done is that I created another table where I have this, which is called the product cost for each product. Okay, now basically, what do you have to do if you think logically? If in case this is the product that we have just sold, right? This is whatever the product is. Let's say this is the product we have sold, and we sold for 2 units. Okay, now this cost that you see, this is a making cost or purchasing cost, whatever you want to call it. We call it COGS. That means cost of goods for the business. Okay, whoever is selling it. Okay, now let's say we sold it for kind of $50. Okay, into kind of 5 quantity. Okay, so obviously we have made like $250. So this is our net sale, right? Net sale, which we have created earlier. Now, if in case you want to find out what is the profit we made, right? Obviously you can see there is a kind of seven something margin. We have like $7 something, right? So you would first of all find out somewhere around $35 or $33 something profit we made right here. So how you will be kind of checking that? So first of all, you would need to know that what is the purchasing cost. Once you have the purchasing cost, then you can kind of minus that, right, from the net sale. So what you will do is that you will first find out what is the making cost. So making cost is going to be this purchasing cost into the number of quantity that we have sold. If you have sold 2 quantity, you would kind of multiply with 2. If you have sold 1 quantity, you would multiply with 1. If you have sold 20 quantity, you would multiply with 20, because more quantity sale, more cost is going to be, right? Obviously, more profit is also going to be. So you see the making cost, like totally it was 217, and we sold it for 250. So obviously we kind of made a profit of like $33, right? Something. Just an example. Okay. Now the problem is that as we have the cogs here in another table, so that means somehow we need to get some logic to get this cogs from this table to that table. Now we learn Excel as XLOOKUP. So using XLOOKUP, product ID, based on product ID, you can get the cogs, right? Easily. If you have the sales data here, you can get the cogs. Okay. Now, how we build the logic? Because in our logic, we need to ensure that everything work automatically, right? That time you would not write a kind of new functions, right? You would not be there. So obviously the dashboard should automatically get the cost of goods and automatically calculate the net sale, automatically calculate the profit, and then create the dashboard, right? This is the requirement. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, right? So let me just create a new folders. Okay, here I will just call it project. Okay, 1, and I'll name it call super stores. So I would just place it not here directly, but I think I am just going to place it maybe something around documents. Okay, and I will create a new folder called projects. Okay, all projects, and let's put it here. Okay, so I would want you also to kind of create a folders. I mean, when you will do it, because in this folders we will have everything. Okay, whatever we want. Now I will be doing one thing. Okay, just to show you, I will consider that we do have only the data at the moment for 2014 and 15. Okay, let's imagine that we have a data for 2014 and 15. Okay, and we have the product data. So we have this two data, and we have not just cut it, but I would just copy it. So oops, and we have just call product. So we are thinking that right now we only have the data for 2014 and 15 and product data. So we will create a dashboard based on this, and then I will be adding 116 data here, and let's see, we will see what happens. Okay, so all these things you can do using Power Query. If you know Power Query, it's a very basic, you don't need to write any code. Okay, so it's a very simple tools that is going to do automatic. So n number of data that will come here, our dashboard is automatically going to filter the data, remove the duplicates, clean the data, remove the blanks, and kind of create a unit net sale column, create a kind of profit column, and then it will create the dashboard that we will be building. Okay, so let's say we only have this data for now. Okay, we do not have all this data. Okay, so this is the data set. So I would go outside all these projects. So this is, I'm going to name it call yeah, let's name it call maybe data sets project 1. Okay, and inside the project 1, I would just I would just leave it the name as it is. Okay, and inside it I would just create one more folders, and reason why I will tell you. Okay, data sets. So in these folders I will have all my data. Okay, so let's go and let's put all the data here in this folders. Okay, so I have one folder which is by your name. Inside that I have a data set, and in the data set I have kind of my data sets, which is 2015 and the products. Okay, now I would need to create an Excel file. Okay, Excel file. So let's first go ahead and create an Excel file. So anywhere I can create it, and then I can move it wherever I want to move, right? So it's simple Excel file I would create, and I'm going to name it called project 1. And this will be our main dashboard file. Okay, dashboard super store, and I'll also add your name so that I don't kind of forget it. Okay, so this can be anywhere. Okay, now see, in this, it's an empty Excel file I have created. Right now I don't have anything here. So now in this file we will be getting the data from different locations. Now what is the locations? I created a different folders in my different folders. From there, I will be getting the data. So right now, this is the empty file, Excel workbook, right? So let's get the data. So for that, you can go to data. Okay. Once you go to the data, and you would have all these options. Okay. Now here you have a kind of something called get data from all these options. You can see you can get the data from Wikipedia as well. Okay. You can get the data from, anywhere else. Let me just show you if in case you need to get some data from Wikipedia, how to do it. Let's say, let's go ahead and say that World Bank datasets Wikipedia. Okay. So let's say we want to get this data, which is this data. Okay. So this has simply name, dates, nationality, and something like this. Okay. Whatever it is, I'm not sure, but just think that we do have this data, and this is the data I need in my that workbook I created. You just need to copy this URL. Okay. And I copied it. Let's go to here, and I will say from web. Okay. You can just click here as well also, or come from here as well also. That's fine. So I would say from web, and I just need to put my URL. Okay. So I have given the URL, and I would simply say okay. Now it is going to scan that URL, and you see it identified it is from Wikipedia, and it's a public access. Okay. If you have if this requires some API like some user ID and password to access this data, you need to give it here, but it's a simple easy data. So I would say connect. Okay. It is going to connect with that website. From the website, it will show me a new tool, which we call Power Query. So in that tool, I would be able to access the tables that is there in that website. And then I can decide which table I want. Okay, you see all these tables are there in that website. So if you click on this web view, you will be able to see the website. Okay, the data. Now, if you click on this table view, you can click the first table. Let's say if in case this is the data we want. So this is the first table, and this is the second table. This is the third table. So these are all the tables what we have, right? So let's just for example, let's kind of consider that this is the table I want. Okay. You can click multiple table as well. Okay. Now see what is interesting here is that if in case somebody updates in the Wikipedia new record, you don't have to do all those things automatically. This Excel file will automatically get the new data as well. So it will work as a dynamically. So you don't have to kind of every time go to website and see if you are just copy pasting, right? So you need to go to website and kind of copy it every time a new data file comes, then you would copy and then paste it, right? Then you would kind of do whatever outcome you're bringing. So here you don't have to do that because it is automatically connected to that website. So whenever new data comes, automatically that will show in your Excel file, and then you can create whatever you want, right? So just an example. Now here we have few of the things. Okay, we have something called load, and we have something called transform. Okay, so what does it mean? When you say load, it loads the data in this Excel directly. Means then whatever you will do, that things will not get recorded. So if new data comes, then again you need to do the same thing. And when I say transform, it create a new, it opened the file into a new kind of tool which we call Power Query, and where you can do a transform. Like I can change this decimal number, I can delete some columns, I can add some columns, I can do some calculations, whatever I want. So if I click on transform, and you will see that this has opened a new tool. So this tool we call Power Query. Okay. Now, interestingly, if you see it here, we have the same table. You can delete some columns, and here is something called apply step. Okay. So let's say I want to kind of delete some columns, right? I can do that. I can create some new columns as well. So whatever I want to do. So this is how you get it. Now, let's say if I want to load it, let's say I just want to delete this columns. Okay. I can simply click and say, where is it? Remove columns. Okay. So I have removed it. Let's also say I want to remove all this column. Okay. So I would say remove columns, and how many columns I have? Let's also remove these columns. So oops, not duplicates, remove columns. Okay. I'm left with only these two columns. Okay. So let's go ahead and say I want to load it now. Now let's say I want to create one more column which kind of combine these two things together. Okay. So for that, I would just need to go to here, which is called custom columns. Okay. I would say add columns, and I would say which is called custom columns, and it is going to give me a tool where I can give a column name. So let's say I want to column this call kind of multiply this and this. Okay. Just like multiply. Now here I need to write the functions. What do you want to multiply? I want to multiply this and this. Okay. So you have all this column from here. So let's say I want to select one column. I would say insert in the formula, and I would just say multiply, and I would select the second column. So I would say again insert. So simply multiply. Okay. Nothing else. Now I kind of have it, right? So here, if you see, we have this and this, right? Now it's giving some error because we have a different data, here. They are not in the same type. Anyways, now I can simply load it. Okay. So let's go ahead and say home, close and load. Okay. So it is going to kind of load my data with a new extra column, which I created. So now this is connected with that web. Okay, so whenever new data will come, only for 2 columns it is coming, not for the rest of the columns. Okay, this new column I created, it didn't work because there are some issue with this data sets, and that's the reason. But otherwise you would be getting the data here. Okay, because here I think the reason is that this before 2017 you cannot multiply this and this. Okay, so we can go back and I can fix it. Then we will just continue with our project. So let's go ahead and delete this. Okay, and go to home, and I think this is what causing the issue. So we can go ahead and say that here is something called first row as a header. So I can consider the sector, this and this as a header. Okay, so the above column will be deleted. Okay, now I have this data and this data. So I need to make sure this both the data in the same format. So I can go to transform and change the data type to decimal, which is fine. And also here I would check the data type to decimal. Now I can create a new column. So I can also click here and I can say create a column. So this is also one of the way. And the second way is that you can go here and you can say add columns. Okay, so let's say custom. Say let's do the same thing again. Right now I would simply select this columns what I want and multiply with the second column, which is this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and now do that. You see now it worked because earlier it was a text and number. Okay, so now I can say that home, close, load, and this time it will have a new columns. Okay, so now I can create a dashboard, I can create a chart, I can create a pivot table, whatever I would be creating. So it is going to be here. Now I can save this file and I can share this with my managers. Okay, so anything that is coming into the web new, automatically it will reflect here in my dashboard. Okay, because my dashboard will be connected to a table which is called table one, and table one will automatically connect it to the web. Okay, and when the data will come from the web, it will automatically clean and delete all those columns, and then it will create a new columns, and then it will give the data to this table, and my dashboard will get the data from this table, right? So everything works dynamically. So this is just an example how we do it. Now let's go ahead and kind of delete this. I do not want it. Okay, I would just close it and kind of start from the scratch. Okay, so let's open it. So now again, we have the empty file. Now the problem is that, see, now the issue is that we are not getting the data from the Wikipedia. We are getting the data from a folder. Okay, so the folder is in my computer, which is in this folders, documents, and all projects. And inside this, I have all the data, right? So from here, I will be getting the data. Now here, if you see, we have the path here. This is the path. Okay, so we can get the data from this folder. So let's see how we can get it. So we are now inside our Excel dashboard workbook. So let's go to get data, and here you can say get data, and you can have something called get data from folders. Yeah, see, we have a lot of options. These are from database, which we will be learning once we know SQL. So these are from clouds, server, like different clouds options we have. So you can get the data from anywhere. Now here, if you see, from you can get the data from another Excel workbook, like another Excel file or text file, CSV file, XML file, JSON file, PDF as well. We are getting the data from folders. Why it is important to get the data from folders? Because if you get it from a file, it will not work as a dynamic. If there's a new file, okay, how you know the file name, right? We do not know whatever the file name is going to be. So every time I need to kind of select the new file to make it automatic, I would be getting the data from the folders. So if new file come automatically, because I'm connected with the folders, right? So I will be getting the data. If somebody delete it, automatically data will be updated. So we will select from folder. Now here you need to select from which folder you are requesting the data. So let's go to all projects and go to inside this, and this is the folder. Excuse me. This folders I would select open. Now I am connected, with this folder. As you can see, we have all this different data here. Okay, so these are the tables we have. So we have options here called combine and transform. We have, which is called combine and load. We have combine and load. So we can say that transform. If I say transform, it will give me that the transform options. We can say combine. So we can go ahead and say combine and transform, because we want to combine all this data together, and then we would want to transform. Okay, so let's click on combine. And so let's select this one. Okay, so if you see here, this is just giving you the preview, right? How the data looks like. So let's click on OK, and let's wait for some time. Okay, so right now here, here is the problem. Okay, so the problem is that in that table, we do have a product. We need to first remove the product because the product is a different data. So if you click here, you will see that, excuse me, it is getting the data from all this. If you see this 2014 and 15 data is a different, but the product data is a different. It has only just a kind of these are the only column it has because it has the 3 columns, right? So it's getting giving a lot of nulls. So let's do one thing. Okay, let's remove. Okay, oops. Let's remove from that folders. Okay, remove the product data. We will be adding the product data separately. Okay, so I would go ahead and say here from this product data, I would just put it outside. Okay, I will be getting manually the product data. Now in this, I only have kind of the sales data. Okay, so let's name it call maybe something called sales. Okay, sales data sets. Okay, now
Okay.
if I come, mhm.
No, I was just saying okay.
Okay, so if I come here now, if I just say refresh, okay, it will be giving me error because it will say that, okay, so that folder doesn't exist. Dataset folder doesn't exist because I have renamed the folder. Okay, I have renamed the folder with something which is called sales, excuse me, sales datasets. Okay, so now we would need to kind of connect with the new folders. Okay, now you can do one thing here. Okay, again, that's kind of going to be a little advanced, but let's kind of do one thing. You can go ahead and here you can change the data source setting basically, and from here you can just click on change source. Okay, this is one way, and you can select the new folders. Okay, instead of that we can select this one. This is one way, and the second way would be excuse me, second way would be kind of just closing it and doing it again. Give me 1 second, I'll just grab the water. All right, so I'm back. So let's see now. Okay, now what I will do is that I would again do the same thing. Okay, I would go to get data and I am requesting from a folders. So I would select these folders because I would combine them together. So okay, the data has to be same. Otherwise, it's going to give me an error. So I would say open, and it is going to give me the same thing. And I will show you later on how you would be getting the then product. Okay, now we have two data, two folders, two file. They are same, I know, which is called 2014 and 15. So I would click on combine and transform. So load means it is directly going to load the data in Excel, which I do not want because I would do some calculations. And I would say combine and transform. That means it is going to give me a tool which is called Power Query, where I can do some transformations like cleaning and all. Okay.
Mm.
Now this is again going to give me a dialog box. You can preview like how the data is going to look like, so you can check. Okay, this is how the data is look like. So click on OK. Okay, so this is fine. Now it's going to load the data. Now if you see the actual data, there are a lot of kind of duplicates are there. Okay, which I will show you maybe later on. Maybe we can see directly here. Okay, now this is fine. This has given us the data combined together. Now how do you know the data is combined? We can only see 2014, right? And we do see all the columns if you scroll like here, but we do not have this 2015 data because we do have two file there. So you can just click on this icon and you would be able to refresh here, and you will see that we have two file combined together. You can just select 2015, you will see the data because it only load kind of few rows, doesn't load all the rows here. Okay, so that means we do have everything. Okay, so we will select everything again. Now here I will just go ahead and close it. Okay, so whatever you do here, now how things works. Okay, whatever you do here, it kind of record some step here. Okay, when the new data will come, this Excel will automatically excuse me, give me 1 second. Okay, so whenever new data will come, Excel will automatically apply all these steps to the new data as well, like 2015 and 16. And then the data will clean, then it will send the data to kind of Excel, and Excel will create the dashboard. Okay, so this is how it works. So now what you want is that let's do some things formatting here. So here I do not want this column. Okay, so because this is telling the source from where the data is coming from, so I do not want these columns. And let's see if in case any other columns which I do not want. Okay, so this we can decide by looking the data and what the insight we want to bring. So whenever you're doing this type of things, it is better to kind of, whenever you're working on for a projects, it is better to have a notebook and write it down, like the importance things that you can bring. Now we can check here. We have something called ship mode. We can see different ship mode and how many orders we have. We can say kind of different segment and how many sales or how many orders we have, right? So this type of analysis we can do. So we can write it down. So we can say different category and sales, right? So any columns that you think which is not important, you can delete it. So that is not going to load into Excel. Okay. So how we do that is that in the home, if you go, you have all these options. If in case first we would name this data as called sales data sets. I think the name is fine. So I would say again, maybe combined sales. Okay. Sales and data sets. Okay, so name is given and this is fine. Now what I want is that I would go, I will check all these options on my one. So first we have in the home, we have something called, which is called choose columns. Okay, so let's go ahead and say just called remove column and choose column. So I would not use a remove column. Why? I will tell you. I would be using choose columns. When you say remove columns, okay, let's say you are saying, okay, I want to remove these columns, fine. And that means by default, you're selecting all the columns. What will happen if tomorrow there are new columns that is, in the data sets? Let's say we have given the dashboard to the team and then they have kind of added a new file which has some new column. Okay, now that is going to mess up because that column will automatically come here and it is going to load in our data. So that column can mess up things. Okay, so what we will do is that if I say choose columns here, and from here, if I just select the columns, it will only select these columns that I'm going to select. And it is going to load that column. Even if there's a new data set which has a new column, that is not going to load because we have not selected that. Okay, so we would unselect whatever we do not want our Excel to get. So let's say we do not want the source name and order ID. I need date. I need the ship date. I need ship mode. I need customers ID. Excuse me. I need customer name. I need segment. I need, okay, country, city. So city I need, state is going to be too much, state, postal code I do not need, like the too much details is not required for me, right? So customer name also I can hide it, there is no point, but again I will keep it for now. Region is good, product ID I need, category I need, subcategory I need, product name again I can have it, but again I would just keep it for now. So unit price, yes, I need quantity and discount I need. Okay, so I would only select this column. So whenever new data will come, they would automatically select only this column. If there's any new column, it will not select. Okay, so that's not going to mess up our dashboard. So I will click on OK. Now, if you see here, it has added a new step. Okay, so we do have a kind of everything that we have asked for. Now, if I just again remove this, I'll be kind of back with the previous steps. Okay, like the previous steps, which is these steps. Okay, you can see it here. I will be kind of back here. So if I delete one step, if I delete previous here one step, it will kind of get back. So whatever you do, it kind of record it. So that means next time when you are not there, so it will apply automatically those steps to the data sets. Okay, so what I have done, one steps we have done. Okay, next what we want to do is that we want to see if there's any duplicates, we want to remove it. Okay, so first we can see how many counts are there. So you don't see all the records here. You can only see 1000 record here. Now how do you know the count? So you can go to transform and there is something called count rows. Okay, so it tells that 4097 records I have combining these two kind of the data, which is kind of 14 and 15. Okay, so here's something called count rows. I can just cancel this step to kind of go back to the previous because I do not want end up with this just number. I just wanted to check, right? So 4097 what I have before removing the duplicates. So I would say close and now I would see if in case there is any duplicates. So how we remove duplicates is that again you can go home and there is something called remove rows. Okay, same as like Excel, you can go to remove rows and there is a by default function which is called remove duplicates. So you can use this one. Okay, and now the remove duplicate is done. If you again want to check the count, go to transform and count. So it's kind of 2007. So I guess it has removed 2000 duplicates. This seems shocking because I don't think we do have a 2000 duplicates or something. Okay, so I think the problem is that here one thing I did wrong, which is kind of when you remove duplicates, you need to kind of select the entire data. Okay, while you're removing duplicates. So I was only selecting this. So that's the reason it only identify the duplicates based on this column. Okay, so when we remove duplicates, we need to select the entire data. So let's delete these steps. We do not want it. Let's first check the count. If in case we are with the original 4097, yes. Now we would want to remove duplicates. So for removing duplicates, before that, I need to select everything. So I would say Control All, or I can say like using Control Shift till here. Okay, let's start with the first column. So first column to till here. Okay, everything is selected. I just use shift here. You can see everything is selected. Right now I will go to which is called remove rows, and I would say kind of which is called remove, excuse me, remove duplicates. Okay, now let's see how many records we are left with. Okay, let's go to transform. Let's say check the count. So it seems like we do not have any duplicates. That's great. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so this is fine. Now remove duplicates. So this will ensure if any duplicates record they add in the futures. Okay, it will automatically filter that. Okay, that is how kind of okay, the duplicate is removed. Okay, perfect. Next, go ahead and see the next things. Okay, now we want to see if there's any blanks. Okay, how do you identify blanks? To identify blank, you can select any columns. Okay, and you can say kind of arrange it ascending and descending to see if in case we have any blank. So descending orders, let's check. So it's doesn't give me any blanks. So usually it's a too long, so you would not see everything here. So let's select here date, and let's see as well ascending and descending. So let's see for descending. So I think we also do not have any blanks here, but that there is a possibility that we may have blanks. So I will help you with the tricks that we can follow to kind of remove blanks. Okay, so for now we don't have any blanks. Okay, you can again say load more and check everything. So looks like no blanks. So let's check. Okay, fine. And if you see here as well, so we can just arrange it ascending and descending to see the blank would show as a null. Okay, cool. This is one way, and let's check it here as well, and check it here as well, ascending and descending. Okay, so looks like no blanks right now, but what we will do, we will ensure that if in case there is any blank, so it kind of deal with that, right? So because there may be some blanks, because we do have some blanks as well. Okay, so for that I can simply go ahead and select every columns, and I can use this function which is called remove empty. Okay, so this will ensure that if in case there is any empty, that entire row will be removed. Okay, so let's say remove empty for all, and remove empty. Okay, so remove empty. So further, whatever the new data we will be getting, that will remove this empty automatically. Okay, so I'll just take few seconds, so that's okay. And I would say remove empty from here as well also. Remove empty. Let's see if we have any. No, yeah, see there's a remove we do have, right? You see here we do have a null, so I would say remove empty. So now if you see, it will be filtered out, right? You see blank and nulls are filtered out. You want to see, so there are some null and blanks. Cool. So let's go ahead and say here as well also remove empty, and here also remove empty. So it is better to kind of do it for all, because we do not know, maybe there will be null in the future, so empty would be futures. So remove empty for this, remove empty for this as well. Okay, this as well. And okay, now let's go ahead and do it for the rest of the columns. Okay, so remove empty here as well, remove empty here as well. So mostly any important columns that you think, you can do it for only them. I mean, it's not mandatory that you need to do it for all, but I'm just showing you how you can kind of deal with it. Okay, so remove empty and remove empty for this as well. Okay, so now it has done the removing empty and everything. Okay, next what you need to do is that we would just need to check the data types here. So as we're working, okay, we need to identify that each data type is correct. Otherwise, it is going to give us an error. So here, if you don't see the dates are correct, so you can select this column and you can go to transform, and here you can change this data types to date. If in case it is not in date, right now it is dates correct. You already see icon here. ABC means it's a text, so it is fine because it's a text only. It's also date perfect. Whenever you will have the data in mix of something like it, so you would automatically see ABC, not date, like as a text. Right now the data I have cleaned before the class, that's the reason it is showing as a date. Okay, so here ABC it's fine. We needed text here also, it is fine. ABC here also name, right, till everything is fine here. Now here, if you see, we have region also fine, product ID also fine, category also fine, subcategory, product name. Okay, so everything looks fine. We just want to check the unit price. So it is showing as a unit price. So which is, we want to see if it is a decimal number. Yes, it's a decimal number. You can again change it to currency if you want, because it's at the end currency only. So we can change it to currency. Okay, so you will see a dollar sign here, unit price. Because why? Because it's a currency, right? We note the price in and the quantity, we want to ensure that this is a whole number. You see it is showing as a whole number because it's a 1 2 3, quantity cannot be half, right? Same discount would be kind of not currency, but it is kind of decimal numbers, which is perfect decimal numbers. Okay, so everything is correct here. Now we need here one columns. Okay, that is called total sale. Okay, and that column is not here. How do you find the total sales? So total sale would be total this total quantity multiply with this
into
unit.
unit price. Yeah.
You're saying something?
No, I was just repeating.
Okay. Okay, so here we just need to kind of create a new column, which is going to tell us the total sale, right? So that is going to be based on this logic, which I have shown you earlier in the example. So how do you create a new column? Basically, you can go here, the third menu, which is called add columns, and you have options, which is called custom column. You can select this one and you will be getting same where you can enter the functions. Like in Excel, you enter it here. So you need to enter it here. So you can call maybe total sale or net sale. Okay, net sale, you can give any name that you wanna give. So here I would select the column that is going to give me the net sale. So that's going to be kind of, which is called this unit price. Okay, and I would multiply with quantity. So that's going to be this quantity. Okay, now this is going to give me the net sale, but I need to minus the discount. Okay, so the formula to kind of minus the discount here is that first I would kind of put them in a brackets. So this kind of get execute separately. So this tell me the total sale, but from the total sale, the customer would expect a discount. So I need to minus the discount from the total sales. Now to minus the discount, I would need to kind of again write the total sales, which is these two things, and then I would multiply with the discount unit. So if you want to understand, it is kind of like this. Let's say the total sale is $20. Okay, if you are giving 25% discount, so you would say dot 25, right? So you see the discount amount is kind of 5. Okay, so from the total sale, we need to multiply the percentage, and that is how we get the discount amount. But how do I find the total sale then, right? So this discount amount, I need to minus from again the total sale. Let's say this total sale is coming by just multiplying 10 into 2, right? So 10 rupees, $10 product into 2. So that's how I get the total sale. And then I multiply the discount percentage, and then this is give me the discount amount. Now I need to kind of get the total sale before discount, then I would minus this amount, which is 5, right? So I can put this in a bracket. Okay, so because this is my discount amount, and I will be getting the total sales right now again, which is going to be 10, which is the net price, unit price times quantity, which is 2. Correct? So this is fine. Oops. Oh my god, I lose it. Anyhow, so I'll show it here. Okay, so now this is telling me the total sales before discount. Now I need to kind of find out the discount. So what I do is that there is a function which we call 1 minus the discount amount. Okay, so we can say 1 minus discount amount. Okay, and we can just put this close. So let's understand what is happening here. Okay, so here I'm saying this is giving me the total sales, which is whatever it is, let's say $20, 10 times 2. Okay, and here this one means, again, this one means it is going to do the same thing here. I can put one, or I can put this again here. Okay, so I'm saying 1 minus discount. So here I just need to do a multiply here. Okay, so at the end, 1 minus discount I will be getting is kind of the percentage, whatever the percentage. Let's say the discount is kind of 25%. Okay, so if you minus 1 from 25, okay, so you will be ending up with 0.75, right? So you will be getting 0.75. Now, if you multiply 0.75 with the 20, which is your actual price, okay, you will be getting the price which is after discount. Okay, so this is kind of little bit maybe challenging, but you just need to kind of think logically. Okay, so this is how you kind of get it, because this 20 is coming 10 into 2, right? And if you see here, how do I get this 75%? Because I minus from 1, I minus the discount percentage, which is kind of 0.25. Okay, so again, I would just need to put this in a bracket. So from 1, I minus the discount percentage, which is kind of 0.25. Okay, so this tells me the portions which is left after removing the discount from 1. So it is always going to be kind of maybe whatever the percent is left out, and then you multiply with the actual amount, and that's how you get the after discount. Okay, so if I just say okay, and let's kind of, excuse me. Okay, so now we got this a sale. Give me a second again. Okay, so we got the sale here, which is after discount. So we can verify it again, $125 price into 3. And that's going to be somewhere around kind of 375, right? From 375, we are minusing 45% discount. Okay, so obviously it's going to be 206, because 45%, almost 50%, right? So again, you can check the calculation. So you can just go ahead and say 125 into 3, which is 375 into kind of 1 minus 0.45. It's kind of 203. You can see it, right? Instead of this one, I can also put like 125 times kind of, which is called 3. Okay, so I would just need to kind of again put this in a brackets here. Okay, again, so I think we will be getting the same, but let's kind of see it here. Okay, we got this, which is net sale. Now we would need the profit. Okay, because that's the last column that we would need. Now how do I get the profit? Okay, because the profit is in a different table. So let's get the product table. Let's hide all this thing. Okay, let's get the product table. Now if you need one more table here, so all this table will appear here. Okay, one by one. Now you can just click here, and you can kind of click here, and you can select which is called new query. That means get the new data, and we have an Excel file. I guess the product is the Excel file, so I can select file. So this is one way. You can go to home, and here is also we have usually we get the options here, but let's do it here. Okay, let's say right click and new query. So we are expecting Excel file, so select Excel file, and I would select this product. Okay, so I'm already inside this folder, so I'm selecting the product. Okay, so it is going to load the product as well here, so I would select the preview. Yeah, this looks fine, only 3 columns, and I would say okay. So you would see 2 tables. They are not combined now, they are separate tables. So this is one table, this is one table. Okay, so this table I'm going to name it called products. And let me see if the header is there. Yes, header we do have, so that is perfect, and I don't have to do any cleaning, but I would just ensure that there's no duplicates. So I would select all the columns. Okay, and go to this remove duplicates, and I would say kind of remove duplicates. Okay, and I can go to choose columns. Looks everything is fine what I need. Okay, so I would say choose columns, and I think I have all the columns, so I would not need to select anything. So this is perfect. I just needed this cogs. Okay, so if you see here for each product, okay, each product I need the cogs, the purchasing cost. So here this product, whatever the product name is, you would be able to see the product ID and the name. So it is kind of furniture segment table. Okay, and this is the product ID. So for this product ID, whatever the cogs is, I need it here. Okay, then I can multiply the COGS with the quantity, and then that amount I can minus from this net sale. I would be getting, that is how I would be getting kind of the profit. Okay, very simple calculations. Now, how do I get it? Okay, to get it, we have something called merge query. So this is called join in SQL. So like you do a X lookup. So based on X lookup, I can get from the product table, I can get the product, whatever I need. Okay, based on the product ID and product ID. So we can click here. In this table, I want to do a merge, like I want to get some new columns based from another table based on some common column. Common column would be based on the product ID. I want to get the product price. Okay, so select this table, go to merge, and then you have this first table selected. It's saying, okay, this is your table where you are going to get the new column. Okay, at the end. Now, if you just scroll down, we have the product table. You can see it here. Okay. Now it is giving a dialog box to select a different table. It says create a table and matching column to create a merge table. So we can select the second table that I want. So the second table I want, which is the product table. Okay. Now I just need to tell what is the common column in both the tables. So I am looking for based on the product ID, which is here, based on the product ID, and based on the product ID, I want the join. So based on every product ID, as we use X lookup, I get the price, right? Based on the every product ID, I want this everything. Then I will decide what I need. Okay, so this is fine. Here we have something called left join, right join. We will learn that later on, but for now, just keep it by default left join. Okay, let's say okay. And now it is kind of merge is done, but I don't see any columns because you need to select it. You see some icon, this tells that the join is done. So based on every product ID, you have the entire columns here. So you can click on this icon and you can select what you want. So let's say I want kind of, which is called just the COGS. Okay, just to verify, I would just select the product ID for now and I will unselect in some time. Okay. So here we have, which is product ID and the product COGS. Okay. Now if I just kind of drag it with like this, okay. If I drag it with this product ID just to verify, so I can just click and drag it this way. Okay. And let's bring it to the closer. Okay. The new column will come at the end. So let's verify it if in case they are correct. Okay. So you can like click and drag like this way or this way. Okay. So we have product ID. You can see 2335, 2335. Okay. 617, 617. Okay. So everything is fine. So we have some null here. Okay. So we need to deal with that. Okay. Because that's going to again give us an issue. So for this product, we couldn't find a kind of for this product, we couldn't find a price. That's the reason it is returning null, because for this product, we do not have an entry in the product table. So what I will do is that if in case any nulls, so you can see that everything is correct. 1249, 1249, I got the COGS, right? So this is the product cost, what I'm interested in. So first, let's go ahead and put this back to kind of wherever it was, maybe here. Okay. And I don't need this column. So I would just go ahead and in my choose columns, I'm just going to remove this as well, which is called the last column, that's called product ID, the additional product ID. Okay. Now in the COGS, I do have some null because because for some product we couldn't find the price, so I do not want to keep them. So I would go ahead and say remove empty. So that is how I got the product cost. Okay. So this one I can simply go ahead and keep the same name, or I can change it, but I think this fine. If I want to just change it, I can just right click on it and I can say rename. Okay. So I would say rename to COGS. Okay. This is fine. Now I can calculate the profit. So as I said, to calculate the profit, this, if you just minus from net sale $67, if you just minus from $67, this $12, it's not going to be net profit, because here you have done multiple sale, which is 3 quantity sales, right? So that means to find the net profit, this unit price that you have, which is $27, you need to multiply with kind of which is called this unit price with multiply with again quantity multiply with COGS, right? For 3 product, buying cost was like $36 something, right? Then 36 I would minus from this. That's how I get the profit, because depending how many quantity we sold, we need to kind of consider the cost accordingly, right? So let's first do the formatting. Here I do have the decimal numbers. Let's kind of yeah, I think it's already in the right format. Now let's go ahead and create a new column which tells us profit. Okay, so I would say here add new columns. So add column, from example, I can do it here. No, I want add columns, custom columns. Okay, now I would call it profit. Okay, and here I will just go ahead and use these columns. How do I calculate the profit? So first I do have a net sale. So I would select the net sale, insert. Okay. Then I would say multiply with the, not multiply, but minus from net sale. I want to minus the COGS, right? But COGS times quantity, that means purchasing cost and the quantity. So I would say purchasing cost into and the quantity. So this quantity, okay. So this gives me the profit. Okay, so here you can just put double slash like this, and you can write a comment if in case you want to write some comments. So you can say this gives profit. Okay, so just for documenting, we can write a comments like this. So this is not going to throw an error because it's a comment. By default it knows, otherwise you will be getting error. If you remove this, you will be getting errors. It's saying there's an inbuilt things, so we can say this way. Cool. So I would say name is also given. Click on OK. Oops, I think something this gives profit. Okay, so here is some problem. Let's go ahead and first remove it and do it again. Okay, and remove that steps. So let's do it again. So I would select custom column and I want to name it call profit, and I would just select which is called the net sale, this net sale, and I would say multiply with the, not multiply, minus, which is from quantity, okay, times which is called COGS. Okay, now you can, instead of inserting, you can simply use this square bracket to access it. As soon as I see, as soon as I press square bracket, it gives me all the columns. So I can select which column I need. So I need COGS. So I can see, and I can use the tab to select it. So this is how I select it. I would not add the comments because it kept error last time. So I would say okay. So right now you can see the profit is showing here a kind of $30. Now here, if you see, it's showing minus. Why? Because maybe we made a loss here. You see one product, which is this one, the unit price is $125. We've done 3 sales. So for $450 sale, we have given 45% discount. So we only collected $206, right? But the purchasing cost for this product was $118 for per product. So obviously you can understand the sale we collected, that is 206, and obviously that this COGS is going to be like more, right? So we have now $118 into 3, so that's going to be 316 something, and that's the reason we are getting loss here. So it is possible that some product have loss. Okay, cool. So that is it. I think we needed and nothing else. Now you can create some additional column just to show you this tool because we're covering this. So just to create some additional column from this time, I can create a year column. Okay, and I can create a day column. So I can analyze which day we're getting how much sale. So how do I do that? You can just select this, go to this add column, and this time you don't have to use a custom column. You can just, if it is a time at the calendar date column, you can select the column, go to this add column function. Don't do from the transform because it's going to transform it here only. We want a column at the end. So select this, go to add columns, and here you see a date calendar icon, select it, and whatever you want from this. Let's say I want the year. Okay, I will select the year, and the year will be at the end. Okay, so that is fine. Let's say I need something else. Okay, I need kind of the month as well. Okay, so month name, instead of month I would say month name. So name of the month. So nicely it is going to give me the name at the end. You don't see it here, but again at the end you would see a month name. So November, May, we can verify it. Okay, so it is kind of converting automatically. It knows that it's kind of 5, that means it's a May. It kind of 11, that means it's a November. It's 12, it's a December. Okay, now I need something else, so which is called first day of the month. So let's go ahead and say day, and it's called first day, start day. Okay, start day, I guess, yeah, month, start of the month. Yeah, I need something called start of the month to create a line chart. So why, we will talk about later on. So it is just going to kind of give me the first day of each month. So if it is kind of 27 November, it will tell 1 November. If it is a 21st May, it is going to tell 1 May. So every date is going to kind of convert to 0, I mean 1. Okay, then we can do a kind of chart. So I would say start of the month. Okay, so these are the 3 columns only I needed. You can also create a quarter column if you want, but very simple way. Okay, all these things are done. I would click on save. Now interestingly, the good thing is that whenever new data will come, everything will be done automatically. I don't have to come here and do all these steps that we have done here. Okay, so let's go ahead and say close. Okay, and it's going to load it here. Okay, so here if you see, we do have a kind of product ID, product name, and this is one of our table, which is part of product table, you can see. And if you see this combined sales, this is our combined sales table. So I think we do not need the product table anymore because we have got the information. So we can go back and hide the product table. So for that, I can again go back. If in case we want to go back, I can just right click and edit. From here, it's going to take me to that Power Query. Okay. So here I do not want this product. So I can just say from here, there is something called hide. Let me see if I have it here. Let's say delete. I cannot be deleted because it's being used. Okay, so it is used by another, but we can hide. Why do not we don't I see it? But okay, no problem. So for now, let's just keep it, and maybe we will just go ahead and load it. So let's go. Okay, so there are some options we have hide, but it's not showing here. So now we only need this table, right? So this I don't need, so I can hide it from here. Okay, I can say hide. Okay, I think that makes sense. So this is the query, and this is my the data. Okay, I have the data clean. So you can see here right now, I can just close this one. Okay, I have the data clean, which is kind of the data for all these things. Okay, even this start day of the month and year, right? Profit, COGS, all those things are here, whatever I needed. Okay, now I can just save this file and I can just close it. And okay, now if I just open it again, I have everything. Okay, cool. So not say I can close it. Now what I can do is that what I wanted to show is that I can create a nice chart using this, which is a line chart. Okay, so let's go ahead and say insert. And this data, if you click this data, there is something called table design, and you will see the table name is called combined sales. This is the table name. Okay, so using this table, I can create some charts. So I can just click anywhere. I can go to insert, and there is something called which is called pivot chart. I can click on this one. Okay, so let's say pivot chart, and pivot chart in a kind of in a new sheet. So I can create a new sheet, and I can name it called dashboard. Okay, and here I can just and say that what I want is kind of the pivot chart. Okay, it's asking me the table, so I can just select the combined table, or I can go here and I can just click somewhere. Okay, I have the table, so I just needed the combined table, and I will say just okay, existing table. Okay, I need to just select the data, or I can just change the name. I think, oops, now I just need to select the table. Let's kind of do it again. Okay, so let's go here and say, which is called pivot chart. Okay. Okay, so let's first create a pivot table. Then only we will do a pivot chart, right? So for that, what I will do is that I would say kind of insert and pivot table and select the data or table name. So we do have a combined table. It's not showing so, but we can select this way. So I think I should have given a smaller name, but I can kind of select it this way. Control Shift. Okay, so this is the table name. I just need to remember it is combined sales. Oops, sorry, combined sales data sets. Okay, I can just select it again. I would be getting the name. I just need to remember that name. Control Shift down. Yeah, I got it. Press enter. Okay, now okay. So here I got the pivot chart based on a table which is called combined sales data sets. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I need here is that I need the start of the month. Okay, I just wanted to show you a kind of start day of the month. Okay, this is what I can do here, and not a start day month, but I may want to do something else. Let's kind of hide it from here, and let's create a pivot table which just tell the year. Okay, and the sale that we have done. So sale in terms of quantity. So I can just drag the quantity. So where is the quantity? So that's going to be quantity. Yeah, this is the one. In the values, I see the quantity nicely, right? I can see the net sale as well, and I can see the kind of COGS as well. Not COGS, but I need the profit, so I would drag the profit. Okay, so everything I need sum, which is perfect, right? I get the data. Now let's create a nice chart. So I can simply go ahead and say insert, and I would say kind of a chart which is called this one, which is any chart I want to select. Maybe line chart I want to select. So line chart. Okay, and the data is again going to be combined table. So I can just go here and select the data. Okay, so press OK. I need to kind of go here and select everything. Control Shift right arrow. Okay, so everything is selected A to Z, and what I need here is just the table name. I don't need the range. And let's see if in case it identify the table name. So click on OK. Okay, it doesn't identify the table name. So I think I would need to kind of, anyways, we will do that later on. Okay, so for now, in the dashboarding part, we will do that. Okay, for now, you see here we do have kind of these things. Okay, the year and the net sale and profit and everything. Okay, so what I want is one more pivot table. So let's create one more pivot table. Let's kind of Control C and let's say Control B here. Okay, maybe a little bit of space and put it here. Okay, let's say Control C and Control V here. Okay, I got one more pivot table, but here I want to drag this, which is called a start of the month instead of year. So I would just remove this here and I would just drag which is called start of the month. Okay. This is fine, and I don't need the year start, quarter start. I only need the start of the month, and let's see again what we are having. Okay, don't need this. Okay, so this is I have it. So two pivot table I have created. Now I would just create one more pivot table, which will just give me these three values that you can see it here. Okay, so I would just Control C and Control V here. Okay, and let's select from here to kind of here, Control C, and let's do it here. Okay, Control B. Okay, so this gives me the revenue. I'm going to remove the years. Okay, this is my main KPI. Okay, so let's kind of make it little big. Okay, so let's say kind of 16. Okay, so let's say this is our kind of dashboard. Okay, so fine, and everything is perfect. So let's save it. Now I would use this to create a chart. So I would select this and go to pivot, insert, and I would say pivot chart. Okay, and I want to select a line chart here. So I would select line chart, and yeah, this looks fine to me. So I would say insert. Okay, so this tells how the progress is happening. Okay, so 2014 to 2015, I do have all these things like sale and everything. Again, we will do the formatting later on. But now if you see, this is, let's say this is a dashboard that we have just created. Okay, this tells everything. Okay, now what I want here is that I would save it. And right now you can see that this is a sale that it is giving it for 2024 and 2020, I mean 2014 and 15. Okay, only for 2 years. And we can kind of I can kind of create a slicer as well, and then I will be adding the new data. So let's say kind of which is called slicers. Okay, and on which columns, which is called the year column. Okay, so I'll do that here and put it here. Okay, so this tell me kind of, you can say, the different options. Okay, let's quickly select one options, which I use this one. Okay, so you can select 2015, and just you need to say here, call right click and report connections, which is report connections, and I want to report to everything. And if you just select it, you see everything is getting changed. Okay, select it, everything is getting changed. Cool. So now we only have the data which we have created only for kind of you know this 2 years, I mean 2 years, right? So let's create one more last pivot table, then I will be kind of creating the chart. Okay, so let's do it maybe here. Okay, and here what I want is design and field list. I don't want the year, but I may want the category and the contribution. So I would say maybe the regions. Okay, so the regions, and only the kind of this, which is called net sale. Okay, so region and net sale, and I will be creating a simple donut chart using this data. Okay, so let's put this data from here to kind of here. Okay, and maybe here to kind of Let's put it here to kind of here. Okay. And I'll be using this to kind of create a last one chart, which is called donut chart. Okay. So that's show the contributions. Okay. So you can see the contribution here. We don't see the legends. So we can add the legends. Click here, go to this design and add elements. And we want data labels. Okay. Which is inside or outside. So data labels, which is outside. Okay. And I would say like this way. Okay. Maybe you can say something else, but I think this looks fine for now. And you can also select design from here. Okay. So this is fine. Now what I want is the new data. Okay. So I can just delete this, all those things that I do not need. Okay. Now what I need is the new data. So right now the dashboard is ready. Okay. They can filter it based on this things are getting changed. Okay. You can see it, right? So when you filter, you see different things are happening. These orders are also getting updated. Okay. So now this data only for 2 years, right? You can just clear this. Okay, you have everything. Now we would add the new data and see how will happen, right? See the profit right now, it is telling that we have which is called 476, right? 476, 4,76,000 is the profit. And this is the quantity sale 14,000. Okay, only for 2 years. Now I will just go ahead and save it. And let's say I give this to the team, and then I ask them to kind of add the new data. So let's say they have now, which is new data, which is called 16 data. Okay, let's copy it and let's go to our folders, which is called, we have created like the documents. And here we have sales folders. Okay, let's put the data here. So I am now adding a new data, which is called 2016. Okay. And what I will do is that I will go to this dashboard again. I still see 2015, 16, 14,000 sales and all these things, right? And now what I can do is that I can go to data and I can click on refresh. Okay, you will see only 2 years data we have right now. 14,000 sales, 4,76,000 profit, only 2 years options here. And also you can see the chart as well. Here also nicely you can add data labels if you want. So let's go ahead and say elements. Doesn't look that great. So data labels and outside. Okay, so above. Okay, again this doesn't look cool, so let's remove it. Okay, fine. So let's go ahead and now say data and refresh all. Okay, we'll say okay, no problem. So it is saying that running the background. See, something is happening in the background. So it didn't do anything, but you need to click it again, refresh all. Okay, now if you see here, we do have one more new year, which is 2016. For that year as well, we do have the profit. We do have the net sale. We do have the total quantity. And if you see here as well, also the total quantity get updated to 23,000 and the net sale is updated. The sum is profit is updated, right? Again, everything is updated. You have now new years. Okay. So you can select 2016 and you can analyze the data. You can select 2015. You can analyze the data. Okay. So this is how you can kind of automate things.